Alright, and we're on now, so I'm going to go ahead and leave the screen up here for just a minute. For anybody that's reviewing this later, this is our agenda. We're going to talk a little bit about uxColor maps, color bands, patterns, trend spotting in uxColor technology. We're going to discuss the interlace window, what that term means, and how you use the interlace window in uxColor products. So we'll talk about moving the window back and forth through time and various aspects of the interlace window. We're also going to talk about uxColor custom UX market flow and uxColor widget, and I'm going to go ahead and start by talking about that right away. Alright, so my name is Adam Kraft. I'm the marketing director for uxColor and UX market flow. I just want to give you a brief overview of the terms uxColor, UX market flow, and the UX market tracker widget or uxColor widget. uxColor is the technology that we're going to be using and taking a look at today. It's a patented technology. I'm going to let Chuck kind of define for you a little bit more about uxColor and what it is. When we talk about uxColor, we're talking about the technology that you're seeing on the screen. When we talk about UX market flow, we're talking about the uxColor product pre-configured for market data for markets around the world, commodities, currency data, through a variety of vendors that we bring the data in through. So UX market flow is really just the uxColor product pre-configured with market data. For the purposes of this demonstration today, we're going to be using UX market flow. But it's important to bear in mind that uxColor technology can be used for any amount of different purposes. If you have a lot of data and you want to be able to spot trends and patterns in your data, then uxColor custom and uxColor technology could very well be right for you. And I just encourage you to get in touch with us. The UX market flow product we'll be using today, while a great product for those that trade in the markets, is not the only product that's available through uxColor. Okay, I hope I've made that clear. If you have any questions about that, or if I've been unclear, there's more information on our website, which is uxmarketflow or uxcolor.com. Chuck's got that up, so I'll just flip to his. Here's the website, and very easy to just drop us a line, get in touch with us, or ask a question in the comments section here, and I'll be happy to answer any question that I can for you. So, once again, my name's Adam Kraft. With me today is CEO and inventor of uxColor technology, Chuck Daner. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Chuck and let him talk a little bit about UX market flow and uxColor and what those are. Chuck?
Hello, everybody. Welcome. We're doing this from the Midwest in the United States, and there's big lightning storms around. So if I get lightning strikes on the ground, I might cut out, and I'll let you know. I want to explain uxColor first of all, and I'm going to go out. This is our website. I'm going to go out and go into the introduction. This is a slideshow, and I'm going to just use one of these slides to explain uxColor. Let's go look at this slide. Let me stop this. So this is a heat map of a line graph. And in a heat map, there's a spectrum. In this spectrum, red indicates relative low, white mid-range, and green relative high values. And that's relative to the period of time that you are color mapping. We call that, and that's going to be called the interlace window. So in these 83 points of this line graph, red is the low point, white's a mid-range, and green is the high point. I'm going to step forward one slide. Now this is the problem that uxColor solved. So we've added a line graph with a much higher range of values, and we've done the same thing with the heat map. And what happens here is the heat map, the color distribution is skewed, and the line graph, you've lost all the detail. Let me step forward. So this is what uxColor invented. This is that same data in a uxColor map, and uxColor solves the problem, the range of data, and also the problem of just massive amounts of data. And so color, now patterns in the data come out in patterns of the color fields. I'm going to close this now, and I'm going to come back. And let me close this. So this is our website. Here's our products. Adam talked about UX Market Flow for finance, uxColor Custom for big data. So big data, for example, we're trying to working with point of sale data, scanner data, daily data on, say you have 1,000 products and you have daily sales data coming off your scanners, and you have products have a life cycle. And by looking at the color pattern, you can see products that are declining. You can put advertising dollars into that product or that product line and see if it recovers. And that's uxColor custom data. We can do anything from linking spreadsheet data to flat files, and we often work with database tables with hundreds of millions of rows, so very easy for us to do. UX Market Flow is our finance product, and it's configured with, as Adam said, and this is a little bit some of the functionality. Here's the data that's in the UX Market Flow product. There's commodities and stocks and penny stocks and international stocks. UX Market Flow covers 15 different countries. This is just telling you how many issues are in a map. And we sell this UX Market Flow configured on a monthly subscription basis, month to month. Give it a try, and in fact, the first week is a free trial, and you can cancel at any time. And your biggest exposure is a 1-month charge. The Pro product has more countries, it has more data, it has currency data, U.S. Treasuries, the currency pairs. U.S. Treasuries, we'll go out and look at some of that, money market and commodities. And also the Pro product has intraday data, intraday history, and we'll go out and take a look at that. Let me go out now, and we'll go out and use uxColor, and we will explore what's going on in the markets. This is the time in the U.S. markets when the markets are dropping pretty severely. This is a UX Market Flow map. Pardon me. This is the SP 500. This is a map. Behind this, this is 500 rows, and now I'm taking that, I'm scrolling up and down. That's effectively the data that's in 500 line graphs. And this is a 1-year interlace window, October 1st to October 2nd. Today is October 2nd, and this map was updated at 128.12. These U.S. stocks and ETF maps you can update during the trading day, and you can use it to monitor the market. We'll go do that in just a minute. So this is a 1-year interlace window, so the color is relative to the range of values over that 1-year time. Red are relative low, green on the high are stocks that are hitting or coming off of new yearly highs. There's a stock that ADP dropped in 1 day from $83 to $71, and that's the kind of thing that uxColor can do for you. One of our taglines is fast knowledge, and the more knowledge you have, the greater your understanding will be. And so this is the 500 lines. I can take that interlace window, that 1-year window, in this map. This is 500 times about 14 years, 253 trading days in a U.S. stock trading year. And so behind this map, and we're going to scan across some of it, 1.7 million data points. I can take this map back in time. I can go back if I want to and take a look at the 2008-2009 crash. Here's the 2008-2009 market crash. Pretty uniform across the whole market, except for a few issues. And one of the things that you might want to understand is there's always cycles. By training, I'm a mathematical economist. Cycles are part of our living. Amazon.com. I'm looking at the stocks that came out of the crash. This is probably March 5th and 6th, 2009. And here's stocks coming out of the crash. AutoZone and AutoNation, both counter-cyclical stocks. When the economy, and there's stress in the economy and a recession, people stop buying new cars and they start repairing their existing cars. And counter-cyclical stocks like AutoNation, AutoZone go up before the rest of the market. I'm going to go out right now and show you a feature. I'm going to go out and sort to that pattern. How many stocks? What I did is I did a target pattern sort. So basically I said go out and find me stocks like AutoZone. Let me zoom in a little bit. I want to show you the zoom feature. You can zoom in. Find me stocks like AutoZone, and it did a pattern match for this 1-year pattern. And this particular pattern is April 8th to April 29th, 2009. So that's one of the patterns that you can do. Let's go back to zoom it back down. Let me get back so we see the whole thing. So there we are studying patterns in history. We also, what I want to do right now is I'm going to go back to a name sort. These are the sorts. Sorts vary by the asset type. These are the sorts for a U.S. equity map. These are the data menus and the view menus. And the view menu, you can configure this. This is the issues list. It runs parallel to the map. You'll see as I scroll up and down, they both scroll. And right now we're back to October 2nd. to use the uxColor and UX Market Flow to monitor the market, or if you have a custom data or proprietary data in it to monitor your process, I'm going to go out right now and I'm going to sort by the change at the right-hand side, or the leading edge of this interlace window. In the stock data, this is going to be the change today over the previous day close. Before I do that, though, let's go out and update this data. I'm going to go out and go data update. It's going to go to our servers. It's that fast, and it just got a new value. Now it's at 151. And now I'm going to go out and sort by the percentage change at the right-hand side. Let me bring this column over a little bit. So now I'm monitoring the U.S. market. And so the U.S. market, AutoNation and Autodesk, as I said, stress times that those stocks and those things will move up and down. So that little bit of knowledge that we picked up, we're seeing happen right now. The U.S. economy, the stock market, and AutoNation, Autodesk today are up 5.48, 3.95%. Well, I wish I had started earlier in the day, and I would have bought some. What I want to do is to go see what the market's doing. This is the SP 500. There's 500 issues. I want to go into the middle, and the index is going to be pretty close to what's happening to this. So I'd say the SP 500 today is down about 0.08%. So that's the interlace window, and that's us monitoring the market. Very interesting about AutoNation and Autodesk, isn't it? Tyson Foods bought recently. They bought a couple of foods. They're just becoming the biggest giant in the food vending industry. So right now I want to go out and do something else. I want to show you, this is a one-year window, and so the context and the values are relative to the range over the 1 year. If I want to understand, and we'll do this with other countries, if I want to understand what's really going on in a market, I will narrow my range. Now I have 2-quarter values, and I have the values over that 2-quarter time. Let me show you another sort. This is the sort by percentage span, and that's the sort over where the interlace window is. So this is going to sort based on the change from April 3rd to October 2nd, 2014. Let me go out and do that. And now I see that over this period of time, now the question I have is, okay, the market is down today. How is the market doing over the last 2 quarters? And now I can come in, and so I see that Vertex Pharmaceuticals is up 52.97% over the quarter. At the other end, Noble Corp and Peabody, Coach is down 29.76%. Right in the middle, I'm going to get in, and though the market has lost a little bit over the last few days, it's still up 0.13% over this 2-quarter period. Let's go see what it's up over the year. Resort this. Resort light comes on whenever I change the interlace window, telling me that the sorts that are dependent on the time period need to be recalculated. I redo that. Now I'm looking at the span. This column is the one we're interested in, this percent span. Let's get down to the middle. So over the year, despite the failures or the losses over the last few days, this index is probably up about 11%. So it's still a huge up year for the U.S. market, though it's coming down. And now if I want to understand the market in a real local trend, I'll zero in a little bit closer. And now I'm going up and down. Let me go back and sort this by name. And I'm scrolling up and down. Now I see the wall, the red wall that's forming. A lot of issues up and down, a lot of issues heading down. Go into a 1-month view, and now I see the strong. This is a very strong, highly correlated pattern. This market has a trend now, and the trend is down. I want to show you, and one of the things we've discovered is that the strength of the correlation gives you, and the strength of the color pattern tells you the strength of the correlation. I want to take this pattern back a little bit. So here, this is a very diffuse pattern. And what we've seen and what our users have seen is that when you have a diffuse pattern like this that's not strong, the market's looking for direction, and it's open to a big move. Now I can go back a little bit farther. Here's another pattern, this 1-month pattern, very strong. Let's step forward. I'm moving this interlace window now by just pushing on the date. Also, if this is blue, I can use my keyboard arrows. I'm going to step at September 8th, September 9th. Pattern is pretty diffuse. Now we're seeing the pattern. There's the pattern strengthening. And now we're seeing a downtrend starting to form, and a strong downtrend starting to form. And now I'm going to head on in. And now it's stronger. Yesterday, that was yesterday, a big down day across the markets, across the U.S. stock exchanges and U.S. stock markets, and here's today. So that's a little bit about patterns, finding trends, setting trends, and moving the window through time. This is the color window. So you've seen me using this interlace controller, sliding the window back and forth in time. Let me show you something else. Let's go back to a 1-year window. And I've talked about vertical, I haven't talked about, but vertical color bands are commonality in time. You saw that when I was looking at that 1 month. I want to show you something else. uxColor creates some new types of knowledge, and one of them is in its horizontal bands. I'm going to go out and sort this by industry. Now we see that horizontal bands have come up, and the horizontal bands here are commonality within industries, and outliers within an industry just come out in the color field. So this industry is lessors, real estate lessors, and the trend is pretty much the same except for this, Prologis, and so the outliers in an industry just jump out at you. Or this stock that just dropped, who was that? Automatic Data, ADP, dropped $11 in 1 day. Let's go see if there's anybody. Here's a stock that's still increasing, Edward Life Sciences. I'm going to go out and sort on Edward Life Sciences. Go out and find me stocks that are like that, and it did that. And that's a target pattern. That's a pattern sort. Not perfect. The mathematics are very complicated, and not all the stocks might separate like you want to see them separate, but it gave me the idea. So now let's go look at some. So we've done we've done 1, we've done 2 on Adam's chart, we've done 3, moving the window in time. Adam's talked a little bit about uxColor Custom, UX Market Flow, the widget. The widget is a browser-based version that. Let's go take a quick look at the widget while we're here, as I mentioned it. Oops, let's see here. I need to get this back up. And this is our, let's go to home. The widget, this is a version of the widget that has finance data, and we can configure this and license this for anybody's website. If you're like a Market Watch and you're used to showing the Dow Jones 65 index, and you want to roll out, we can show you the Dow Jones 65 stocks all at one time. And this refreshes during the trading day, so this is at 157. You can sort by name or percentage change today, so in the Dow Jones. Who's up today in the Dow Jones 65? These are the 65 composite, utilities, transportation, and industrials. And I'm looking up here. So today, even though it's a down day for the market, JetBlue is up 2.63%. So that's the widget. We can configure this with any data. You can have proprietary data that you want to distribute on an intranet, and we can do that. Let's go out now and let me show you some. And I've done the, let's go out and show you the next thing, Adams number 6 is asset type and intraday data. So let me go out and bring in some other UX maps. Let's me bring over a commodity map. And here's commodities. And this is 60 commodities spot prices. Let's go out and sort it by change today. Let's see who's going up and who's down. And so coffee's up today 3.65%, or yesterday. This data isn't running intraday. But in general, you see the commodity prices over the last year are down. Some commodity prices are up. There's a commodity price jumping. That's probably no cattle. I was going to say it's probably gold. Cattle is up. These are cocoa, soybeans. I want to find gold. G-O-L-D. I just type the first 3 characters, and there's gold. Gold prices is down. Let's move it into a narrow window. Gold is still moving down. So gold right now is 1,214.60. If I want to understand what's the range of gold been over the last year, it's probably high is right in there. It was at 1379. Let me show you something else about this. If I want to understand the range of gold over 3 years, I do that. So gold's near 3-year lows, a 3-year high. I'm taking this visible window. Note down here, there's the interlace window, and I'm running this visible window within it. And so the gold 3-year high looks like it's right back there, and that was at 1777. So there's commodity data. And let's go look at some other asset types. Let's look at some currency data. These are currency pairs. So a pair is quoted in terms of 2 currencies. It's a pair. So this price, 0.014, means that 1 Afghan, it costs 0.014 euro for an Afghan. You can go down. Let's go see how Russian currency is doing. Well, the Japanese yen, I think, has been losing value. There's the Japanese yen. Let's go highlight the Japanese yen. There it is. So there's the Japanese yen losing a lot of value versus the Indian rupee, gaining on the Russian ruble. Russia and Russia stock market's been battered. There's the Janae. So this is 520 currency pairs. Let me get this map out of the way. Let me get the commodities map out of the way. Let's go. We do currencies and commodities and funds, ETFs. Let's go look at some other nations. Let's go see how Canada's doing. I just had this open on another monitor. I'm bringing it over. And so you can, each one of these maps is an independent frame. You can have as many maps open as you want, or you can have as many maps open as your monitor space. We've been up on a Christie data visualization wall where we had 3 million data points visible at one time. It was just remarkable. And you can see a history, and I think we had China, Japan, the US, and Canada all open, and we had them open for 3 years, and I think there was 3 million data points. And it was very understandable. It was remarkable, the coincidences in the history or the lack of coincidences. So this is Canada. I want to go see how Canada's doing today, or yesterday over the previous day. I'm going to go out and sort by percentage change. So this is the column I'm looking at. There's some stocks that were up. I'm going to go into the middle. I think this is 600 stocks. And the way we build these international maps is we get most of the stocks that trade on that nation's exchanges. We filter them on price and volume. We want liquid stocks. And then we take the market cap. So this is the 600 large cap market stocks. So 300, I would guess that yesterday's, if this was an index, that was down about 0.34%. And I can go out and I can do the same thing on China. And get China's issue list. Let's see how China's doing over the last month. The Chinese economy has been faltering, but its stock market hasn't. Very interesting. There's been a lot of talk about weakening in the Chinese market, driving the world economy, but it's not driving the Chinese market. In fact, that Chinese market is up. There are stocks that are hitting a monthly highs. Let's go look at them on a quarterly basis. On the quarter, it's a strong quarter for the Chinese market. Let's look at them on a year basis. And you see them coming out of a low back here. Vertical bands are commonality in time. So even though the Chinese market is eroding, or the economy is weakening, the stock market isn't. And China's stock market's a little bit peculiar. It's driven by a lot of mom and pop investors, not a lot of institutional investment at this point in time in China. And so, an interesting market is the Indian market. India had the largest election ever held in the world, occurred in India, mid-April to mid-May, and Narendra Modi won, and the historical party lost, biggest loss ever for it. Narendra Modi came out and said he's going to support an India that's going to promote commerce and industry, and it's going to be for all of India's people, and the stock market just surged. And you can see that surge. This is probably May 19th or so. I think the election results, May 19th. The election results were announced on May 19th, but they were, one thing I can do, I want to understand how this particular time frame, you see me set the time frame using these boxes down here. I can also do it from here. I'm going to set the time frame to this period of time. And now you see the election began back, I think, in mid-April. And so as the results start coming out in a big win, you can see that the market starts taking a hold. I can scroll this back a little bit more, and now I'm stepping in. Let's scroll back, sorry. And you can see, let's go back to a 2-quarter window. You can see how this May 19th, the result was announced, and May 23rd, the stock market is just soaring. So that's a little bit about seeing and calculating the change over any time period. So if I want to, one of the things, I'm sorry, is the calculating the change over any time period. And that's done by, so if I want to find the change over, say, from here to here, I set the time period to that. I go out and I use that span change, and I come out here, and over that time period, this is the column we're interested in, JBM Auto is up 567%. And the Indian market, if I get into the middle, this is also probably about 600 stocks, 300. The Indian market over this period of time is probably up 41.87%. So even though some markets, there's usually around the world, you'll find some place that is strong and some place where you can, if you're an investor and you're a trend trader, some place where there's a lot of opportunities for you. I'm going to close. We've done, let me go back. I've missed a couple of things. I'm sorry. I'm sort of watching this storm here. This is the U.S. market again, SP 500. I'm going to sort by name. And if I wanted to find, this could be the Russell 3000, but if I find the highest yielding dividend stocks in the SP 500 in uxColor, it's this simple. And let's see, where are they? Let me, oops, sorry, let me go grab it. There's dividend yield. These are, zero means that they're not declaring a dividend. So the highest dividend yielding stock in the SP 500 right now is Transocean, and at its current price, and this is the price as of 151 October 2nd, be yielding 9.71%. Windstream, 9.43%. AT&T, a great stock value that's yielding 5.26%. So that's a little bit about calculating and sorting on change in time and by asset types. And I'm going to close. You've seen me do a variety of target issue. We can also sort to a target pattern over a smaller period. Let me go in here, set the time here. And now what I'm going to do is, I'm a trend trader. Let me just get a little bit away from this. Even though I don't see those dates, uxColor knows the dates underneath. So what I'm looking for is a head and shoulders pattern. A head and a couple of shoulders. And there could be one right there. I like a map. From map always turns the cursor into a crosshair, and there's the head and shoulders. Let me line graph that. We'll take a little bit of a quick look at it. From map, cursor's a crosshair. From list, it gives you an alphabetical list. And now if I bring in one of our maps, and to highlight or to zoom in on our maps, our line graphs, you do it like this. And so there's that head and a shoulder, a shoulder, and the head. What I wanted to show you, if I had more time, I might find a better head and shoulders. But suppose I discovered a head and shoulders that I like. I can then do this. I can go out and sort for that head and shoulder pattern. And now I found a number of stocks. So if I'm a head and shoulders investor and I'm at this point in time, so these would be some type of trend reversal. Let's go out and see what happens to these over the next few days. So these headed down, these headed down, headed down. So it was, now we're September 29th, and we're seeing that all of the stocks are responding to the market trend. So head and shoulders works, but don't ever fight the trend. So I'm going to pass it back to Adam. Adam, I know it was fast. I hope I covered everything.
Yeah, it sounded great, Chuck, and I think we made it through without too many technical difficulties. I heard a few places on my end where it sounded like your audio cut out. If that's the case, we apologize. As Chuck said, we are braving some storms here in the Midwest that have interfered with some of our technology today. So once again, this is the agenda that we went through and covered today. And my name's Adam Kraft. I'm the marketing director for uxColor and UX Market Flow. I would just wrap things up by reiterating what Chuck said. The product comes with a 1-week free trial. It's a month-to-month product. The most you're invested at any given time is for the current month. So I just encourage people to go out and give it a try. There's never going to be a better time than now to take advantage of uxColor and UX Market Flow and be a trendsetter and a thought leader, giving yourself an edge by familiarizing yourself with this technology before it becomes more widely known. So I want to thank Chuck for the presentation. I think it was great. Thank everybody for taking the time to watch it, and remind you that you can contact us easily through the website. If you have any questions, concerns, anything that you'd like us to cover in future videos, please don't hesitate to reach out and contact us. There's a wealth of information available on the website. as well as the widget market tracker that Chuck demonstrated for you to get to try a scaled down browser-based version. It doesn't have the pattern sorts and some of the neat functions that Chuck demonstrated here today, but it could at least give you an opportunity to take a look at it in action, and from there go ahead and just download the product and give it your free first week trial. So Chuck, that's about all I've got here. Do you have anything else you'd like to close with before we close?
I think the only thing I'd like to say is the more data you have, the more value uxColor can add. So if you're in healthcare or you're in marketing or you have social media data, if you're trying to analyze Facebook and Twitter, if you have Twitter data and you're tracking tweets and tweets by topic, uxColor can make that data come alive. So come see us at uxcolor.com. Thank you all.
All right, thanks everybody. Have a great week.